the most used plugin on my tracks in 2020 for free is this one. Yes, it is the LRC5 from Neon Silicon. Now, this has been around for a lot longer than just this year. I think it was released in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. It is just the best, most useful, most valuable plugin for free that you can use on your tracks in iOS, in my humble opinion. And you know what? It's my countdown, so that's what it is. But it is an EQ. It is a 5-band parametric EQ. Why is it better than GarageBand's EQ? Why is it better than other EQs? I'm going to show you why. Because it's simple, but it has power and flexibility. So let's come back and jump into this vocal. Again, we're running out of room here, so we're going to have to remove the enhanced tuning. Pete's going to lose his auto tune. We'll hit the plus button, we'll hit audio unit extensions, and we'll come in here to LRC5 from Neon Silicon. Now again, we'll tap the edit button and we'll move it because you generally, not always, but you generally want your EQ to be at the end of your chain. Now that's not always the case. Some people say, why would I put reverb and overdrive and width plugins on the frequencies I don't want to keep in there anyway? That's a fair point. But for me, I've always gone the more traditional route, which is having it at the end of my chain. So we'll put it here on the end of my chain. So in its simplest form, you got 5 bands here. So at the bottom here, you've got the ability to do a proper high pass filter or low cut filter. So this one is your high pass filter. You can bring that down and that's going to reduce your low end bass noises. So for something like a vocal, you're generally not going to need anything below, probably 100 hertz or at least below 50 hertz. So this is sort of around there. Now look in the bottom right there, you can see the little tiny green numbers. Hard to see on your screen now, but it's really easy when you're actually using the plugin. What you can do is you can see that the numbers. So if I bring this up to say 100 hertz, which is around about there, and then drop it straight down, what I've now got is a 100 hertz low pass filter. So there's your first thing that you can do. You've then got up the top here, high pass filter. I always get those wrong. Low cut, high pass. You've also got at the top here the ability to do the same at the top end. So you can add some air by bringing it up there, or you can reduce the top end. So let's play this vocal, and we'll come back to the start here. I'll just show you some of the things that these can do really, really quickly. So again, you're not going to hear much by bringing this down to start with because there's not much noise at that frequency. But if you get some, truck rumble outside, if you've got some low hum, you've got something in your vocal or in any tracks, this can really help. So let's hit play. Life is long and you have much time. You're in a rush and you don't know. So you can hear there that it's just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I think so. And then you can sort of slide this up. So if we move this up, it's going to remove more and more of the bass frequencies. Let's try it. Oh, why you want it all and you want it now, but you doubt your talent and you don't know how. Cool, yeah. So if you want to go for that telephone kind of sound, let's just turn this vocal up, by the way. We'll take the automation off just so that you're going to be able to hear it a little better. We'll bring up the volume. So if you want to go for, you can use this for an effect. If you wanted like a telephone sound effect, you could just use that and bring it up here and you get that kind of AM radio with not much bass. Around at what others do. Think it's easy, so why not you? And then, at the top end, you can do the same thing if you've got too much high frequency, or you can use it to add a little bit of air. Now, you've got your other frequencies here in the middle. These are all, I've forgotten the name of these now. It's been a long stream, 50 minutes. But you've got the ability to adjust these up and down on the 3 different bands. And again, you can set these to anywhere you like. So you can move them left and right, up and down. But here's the key thing. Here's the killer feature. We can actually change the Q setting of these. So if we grab these and we grab 2 fingers and we spread our fingers apart, check that out. We can adjust the Q, which is the narrowness or the width of the bandwidth, to that. And this can do what we call notch filtering, which means if you've got a frequency in your track that sounds really bad, you can notch it out. So what we can do, let's try and find a bad frequency, shall we? We'll turn this all the way up. We'll just adjust these down. We'll turn this all the way up and we can sweep around. And if we find a frequency that's just terrible, we can actually notch it out. So we'll do that now. Let's play. But success isn't overnight, so if you want to win, you're gonna... That one, yeah. So that frequency there, and if we look down the bottom there, that is around about 1500 hertz. So that's creating that kind of nasally kind of tone. So we can actually remove that. So if we play this back. Gonna have to fight, hold on, hold on.
on. It's gonna be a long.
And then you can actually use that to remove it down. So compared to, if we compare this to our regular EQ, again, we have no Q control. All we've got is the ability to turn these up and down at different frequencies. And yeah, it's handy, but it's not as handy. It doesn't do the same things that we can do here because we've got no Q control. You don't really have a proper high pass filter or low cut filter at the bottom end there. And you don't have the flexibility that we have with the 5 bands that we have here on LRC5. So you can see here, you could, you can add a little bit of bass there. You could give it a little bit more there. You can come in here and you can select multiples at once and then move everything. So if you've got multiple things selected at once, you can move your whole frame, your whole waveform there, or you can do it one at a time. And let's say we've got another part here we want to cut. Again, we tap it, we spread 2 fingers apart. It creates a nice narrow Q, and then we can do some nice surgical upping and downing. We want a little boost up there on our vocal.
Long time, hold on.
Don't know why we would, but yeah, you can do it, and it's got the complete flexibility.
Hold on, cause it's gonna...
Complete flexibility over all of your EQ controls. So what do you think? Is that a deserving winner? Is LRC5 the deserving winner of our top 10 free AUv3 plugin shootout here today?